Thanks for staying with us. So we'll just call up the video so we can now have a conversation.
As to what the next president of Nigeria should look like. And the first thing is that we don't care what part of the country that person comes from. We care more about competence, capacity, vision, understanding how to lead a nation and build a country after so much debilitation. Secondly, apart from not caring what part of the country the next president comes from, the next president must be given to development and must have proven in his or her track record, public sector or private sector, that they can deliver and have delivered development. Nigeria needs to develop. Our roads, our healthcare, education. And that's why we have so much incompetence in leadership today, because of the lack of education. Number three, we need a president who is not a genderist. We also do not need a tribalist, sectionist, or ethnicist. That must not happen. And the constitutions must provide to exclude those sort of people from high executive office in all three tiers, all three arms of government. We also do not want a religionist. We also need somebody who has brilliance, is well educated, and hasn't left his or her education in the theoretic realm. We also need somebody who can amass around himself across the reach of governance and government, particularly in his or her cabinet, people who are like him or her in competence, capacity, brilliance, and vision. And we have to find a way, my friends, to lock out the people who only go into politics and governance for personal gain and aggrandizement, for the allure of power and money. Democracy is the government of the people, for the people, by the people. And we're sick and tired, forgive my rudeness, of these idiots who cannot see beyond their noses. If you're not good enough for the job, leave it. If we call ourselves a federal republic, one, we must be Republican, and two, we must be federating. This is not a federal republic. I see nothing Republican about Nigeria, and there's nothing federating about Nigeria. I say this because no country in the world history has survived 2 civil wars. You could be in flight and running for dear life any day from now if this thing does not come to an end.
So he mentioned competence, capacity, vision, understanding how to lead a country after so much dilapidation, track record, brilliance, genderist, ethnicist, tribalist, secessionist, visionary, just to highlight a few. So our question is, can we find such a leader in Nigeria? Or should we just focus on a plan B, which we're going to pull up that video sometimes later for you to watch the part B. We had played it yesterday on the show. Now, please let us share what you have to say. Remember, you can join this conversation, tweet at us at WayShowAfrica1 with the hashtag WayShow, or send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. Okay. Jennifer, let me come to Jennifer. So when you saw that video, I mean, I shared it. When was it I shared the video? Was it Sunday? I can't remember now. It was worrisome for me. Let me start first, because it was worrisome for me because, I mean, if you watch Pastor Paul during the experience, always praying about Nigeria, I mean, even our guest yesterday, Dele Farotimi, had even alluded to the fact that he is one person that is extremely optimistic, is always talking positive about Nigeria. So for a Pastor Paul Adefarasin to come out, you know, he's this sweet talking pastor that's always, speaking very proper English and all of that, for him to come out to this extent where he said a lot, but if you are sensitive, you would know that there's a lot more worse, right?
That
he has not said, but his body language had already given off. When he said that the country cannot survive 2 civil wars, he was saying something about, we were just barely 70 million, 60 million when we had the first civil war. Now, just imagine the census, which we are not even sure of our real numbers as Nigerians. So when that video came to you, first of all, when he reeled out the quality or the kind of leader that is saying that we should join to pray for so we can have in 2023. Is it possible to find such a leader today in Nigeria?
Well, I think it is, but I also think it's going to be very difficult. Now, with the kind of people we deal with every day and the people you encounter and experience every day, you realize that you really don't see people who have integrity or people who can even lead a small team of people. Now, if you look at your immediate environment in a workplace, let's use a workplace for example. I mean, we all go to our offices or wherever we work, and you're probably heading a team. Now, you have people who are insubordinate, you have people who lie, you have people who don't have integrity, you have people who are looking for ways to bring you down, even at your small workplace where you're earning a livelihood. You have people who want to find ways to make sure that they take your position, even when you've not done anything to them. Now, these are the regular people that you meet every day. These are the regular people that you see every day. And then when you sit back and look at it, you're like,
and that is a reflection of the larger population.
What you see in your immediate environment is just a reflection of who the everyday people is like. I understand that people are struggling, people are trying to make ends meet and all of that, but should that take away the normal human decency that we have? No. So the thing is, a lot of people have not looked inward to check themselves. Now, people are shouting every day, we want a good government. We want somebody that can come into the seat of power and do good, do this, do that. What about you? Are you a good person? If they put you in charge of a small team in church, in maybe a social gathering and all of that, would you lead well? Let's start with that. People have not questioned themselves. So I can be in a team and I'm looking at the person leading and you're like, but guess what? That is the person shouting the most. Oh, the government is not this, the government is not that. But you are not a very good person yourself.
Absolutely.
The way you treat your neighbor, you don't even treat them right. You don't have human sympathy, you don't have empathy, no emotional intelligence. So please, tell me how you want to get a good governor. Let me tell you something that happened on, of course, you say I'm a Twitter person, but you know how the FEMCO stepped in during NSAS? Now, after NSAS, few months after that, a lot of people started tackling that group of people, those women that they were fraudsters and they were not being accountable for the amount of money that was being sent as donations for the work that was being done. And it got to a point where they kind of like gave a list of everything and how the money was shared and how the money was being used. Fast forward to this year, just last week, they brought up something else again. Now, what FEMCO did an audit, put it on their websites and shared it on Twitter and whatever platform, and said that they've sent this audit to everyone who donated. Now, guess the people that had the loudest voice, people that did not donate. Anything. You're calling these people fraudsters. We all know in Nigeria the amount of work. We all know how much these women worked to get people out of jail, to make sure that you're not being tortured. They paid for hospital bills. They did all of this. And you're coming for these people? People that, guess what FEMCO said? FEMCO said, you know what? We're hunting off. Now, what does that mean for us? It means that when you're in trouble, you have nobody to call. Because the one group, the one organization who was there for you, you have pulled them down.
You know, so I listened to Pastor Paul, and I want to come to you, AC. He made mention of visionary leaders. He made mention of the fact that we didn't want people that are tied to, ethnic divides, tribal divides, or gender divides. People that are, that gender one is questionable. You know why I say so? Because we're a highly patriarchal society. So it's going to be tough, for us to be able to break that. So let's even leave gender aside, because we're women. They will not say they're coming to do women matter. Tribe and ethnic divides. even religion, because he mentioned something about religion,
Yes,
saying that is why he would not even put himself out there to come for presidency, because of the fact that he is a pastor. So there's no need for us to start going through that divisional, those lines. And you know, I shared something in the group earlier today where some people, some so-called Yoruba people, have called to say that it has to be a Yoruba Muslim. Do you understand? So you see, the problem in Nigeria is bigger than we think. The sad part is that we are not honest enough to face this problem and tell ourselves the truth. So if we want to go through religion, tribe, vision, you know, and all of that, do we really have the capacity to live above those divisional lines? Let me come to you, EC.
That's a tough question. The problem is, this thing is so deep rooted. It didn't start today. It has been from time as far back as I can remember. You know, from action group to today. It has just, you know, the decay has just kept going, transcending each level from year to year till we are in the situation we have found ourselves. And this has, you know, you talked about the pastor saying that he will not want to run for presidency. Why? We have people like this, but based on the fact that we have assassinated, or the current political class has assassinated individuals who were credible, who were willing to actually pull the country and push it forward beyond what we currently have today, or it wouldn't have even degenerated to the level we have today. Till today, nobody knows who killed Bola Ige. To today. So let's you know, fast forward. The key thing is that individuals in the political class that would have come out and stepped forward to actually taking Nigeria to the promised land have been killed. Now that has opened doors to the current political class we have today.
So you think we can't rise above this tribal lines?
I'm not saying it's
lines.
I'm not saying it's not possible. You know, there's always a gray area.
But what can we do?
What can we do?
Because you know, you are a strong advocate for education. I believe. I mean, see, okay, so let me give a background. Because I was born, I'm an Edo girl. Both father and mother are from Edo State, Benin City. My father relocated very early in his life to live in the north. Why? Because the time I was born and the time he was having his children was the heat of that period where in every household in Benin, you must find somebody that is being trafficked outside of the country for prostitution to be able to fend for the family. And my father didn't want that kind of mindset. He didn't want that kind of lifestyle, you know, for his children. And he didn't even know that God was going to bless him with 7 girls. So imagine. Wow. He would have been donating all of us to Italy, you know. But my father already saw that kind of toxic environment. Because even if you are raising your children in the cocoon of your home, what if when they go to school, when they hear their friends, because it was something that was very common on the street, everybody was talking about, I must travel. So that was why my father relocated very early in his life to the north. And he had almost all of us, you know, in the north. So I am an Edo girl, but I was born, raised. I grew up to my adult age, you know. It was university that took me out of, and that university that took me out of the north was based on my grandfather's insisting on that you cannot just have your children not even know anything about, because we were going to go to ABU Zaria, but he said no. He insisted that we have to come to the south, or you know, come to a southern university so that we can learn our culture. So for me, growing up, in all honesty, when I see a human being, I see a Nigerian. I'm unable to see, oh, Jennifer is, I have to think again, where are you from? I have to think where is from. I do not see religious lines. I do not see tribal lines. I do not see, where you're coming from, your ethnic lines. I don't see it. So how is it possible that my father was able to raise us, or we grew up in that same environment, in this same Nigeria? So how can we now go back? Because I believe that this religion, tribe, these ethnic lines is one of the strongest tools that some of these political class have used to keep us, you know, in this, because they want to keep us in that space where they continue
We talked about
You know?
something yesterday.
So let me land this point.
Okay.
So if we are able to go back to that point where we do not see ourselves, right? And like what Dele Farotimi said about engaging a common goal. So we forget, we are blind to ethnic, we're blind to religion, we're blind to all of these things. How do we get ourselves back to that point? Because I believe that if we want to find the right leader, you know, we must start from there. Where we're no longer saying that, oh, he's a Yoruba man, he's an Igbo man, he's this man, you know.
You see, when I'm not saying we should have something like that in Nigeria, a revolution is going to happen, or a war is going to happen, according to Mr. Farotimi yesterday. But the key thing here is this, that we need to understand that Nigeria is our home. And the moment our mindset is taken away, you know, I said something. I said mindset is everything. And he said something yesterday. He said that if we have 2,000 people who can stand and say, okay, we are going to
2 million.
2 million people, and we're going to move the country forward, that Nigeria will change. We don't need 100 million people. So the key thing is mindset, and it's not going to start today.
How do we do it? You know what, we're going to take a break.
What we have today in Nigeria didn't start today. Remember, I think when I was growing up, China used to be the most poorest country in the world. Nobody wanted to go to China.
Everything,
but today, it is a superpower. Okay? So where did they start? They decided, okay, we need to change our leaders. We need to change our mindset. We need to start producing things. We need to start working together towards a common goal. And they started way back, over how many years ago? Close to about 40 years ago. And they are where they are today based on this. A Chinese man who has not run a business and has not succeeded in running his business can never run for office. Can never run for office. But today we have anyone who just has political agenda, and he has a godfather. And godfatherism is one of the decay we have in Nigeria today. He said, I don't like talking about this.
Calm down. We'll take a break. Let's go and drink some water. You know what? Because, you know, what you just said, you really hit a point home. And because Pastor Paul was saying in that video again, because we're analyzing the video, he said that you must have track record. You must have track record, meaning that you must have been successful either in the corporate world or something that can prove that you are competent.
Yeah.
You know, but we'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation. Then we'll open our phone lines. Stay with us. We'll be right back.